When I received the letter saying they were unprepared to remove it because of the limb or the hand being usable, I had enough, so I bought an axe, unbeknown to my wife. I found lots of bits of wood that I had down the shed. I assembled those pieces over a period of a week to a week and a half without anyone's knowledge, because every time my wife was asleep or whatever, I would sneak out and try and do what I could. I planned everything to the T on that day, so I got my wife cleaning the car, i.e. hoovering it out, and kept her busy, even though she was aware that something may happen, and she was suspicious. So I went down the shed, I attached the gadget to the outside of the shed, I put plastic everywhere, I put my hand down and released the mechanism. The axe came down, and because I looked away, I assumed it had missed. I looked round and realised that it had gone 3/4 of the way through. My bone and my hand were hanging down backwards. I realised that I wouldn't be able to lift the axe and reset it to finish the job, so I had a scalpel that I'd already had down there ready. So there was nothing to it, but I had to cut through the rest of the flesh and the tendons. The tendons and the flesh wasn't so painful, it wasn't too bad. There were two main nerves and an artery. As I went through the first nerve, it was extremely painful, but I could still cope. I went through the artery. The second nerve I only managed to get halfway through, and then that was very, very painful. So I took a breather, and then I cut the final piece of the hand off. Then I lifted the hand up because I'd already pre-lit the burning bin with charcoal and plenty of wood. I took the hand over, put it into the bin, sat on the floor for a few seconds, and I assumed I sent a text to my wife to phone an ambulance. But instead of sending send, I sent attach. I didn't realise at the time, so I've gathered all of the stuff, all the paper and all the stuff containing blood and materials, put it all in the burning bin, started to undo the guillotine. Then I thought the ambulance would be here, so I removed the tourniquet, in which case blood was going absolutely everywhere, even though I'd bandaged it all off and covered it. But I realised I still had to get the gadget in the shed because I didn't want anybody seeing it. So I designed it in a way that I'd only have to undo one screw in order to remove the whole thing and lock it in the shed. So I covered my hand with a towel, undid the screw, locked it in the shed, came up here, absolutely pouring blood from my hand, sat on the bench outside. My wife came in and said, "Oh my God," and started phoning the ambulance. Then I told her to open the side gate because I didn't want to drip blood through the house. So I had gone through the house and sat on the wall at the front. I told my wife not to stay on the phone with the ambulance so she could get the hose and hose down all the blood and all the mess that I'd made. And I told her where my bag was for the hospital. She got all that ready, then the police turned up, then the ambulance crew turned up, and then that was it, basically.